Hello everyone, this is Suzanne on God Crochet and Chatter. Welcome back. Oh, it's been a marvelous day today. I got caught up on all my laundry. I rearranged some things in the bedroom. I did some baking to freeze for future meals. So yeah, I think I'm finally back on track. Oh, and it feels great. A little bit frustrated with my pot holder, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But today's lesson was fantastic again. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you decided again to spend some time with me today studying God's Word. All right, today we read chapters 16 through 18 of 2 Samuel. Tomorrow, chapters 19 through 21. Let's get to our trivia question. Yesterday was, to whom was the following said? When thou shalt be old, another shall gird thee and carry thee whither thou would not. If you said Peter or Simon, you were correct. Today's question is, who said, Saul, Saul, why thou persecute me? That's kind of an easy one, isn't it? All right, we'll find out the answer to that tomorrow. All right, let's get to our studies. Now, yesterday we had spoken about parents and children's relationships toward one another, and it can be good, it can be bad, but a parent's love for their child is unconditional. King David shed tears of great grief when Absalom died. He wailed. It is one of the saddest stories of grieving in the Bible. And how many of us with our children, when we hear of bad news, or perhaps that they died in a car accident, whatever the tragic thing is, we would have given our lives for them, for that not to have happened to them. Well, David cried out, "Oh, my son Absalom, my son, my son." David realized that his son's death was a consequence of his own sin. This had to pierce his heart to the core. And we talked about yesterday how sometimes the scars from our past can trickle down through generations and can cause some devastating consequences. David's words of mourning rank among the saddest, most heart-rending words ever spoken. And I think we can all kind of relate to that. I know when I see things going on, good or bad, with my own children, how I grieve over it. But I also can praise them over the good things that are going on in their lives. We just love them freely, and we don't ask anything back for us. We'd like to receive love back, but sometimes that's not the case, and it's sad when that happens. Let's talk about a broken heart. In spite of Absalom's treachery, David grieved at the death of his son. Absalom's conspiracy, beginning in chapter 15, led to greater decisiveness and suffering among the nation. Not only did David suffer harm at the hands of these enemies, but he continually wept because of the situations they found themselves in. It surely broke his heart to consider that his son Absalom had abandoned him. David also understood that this rebellion would lead to harm for those who remained loyal to him. In spite of these factors, David urged his men to be gentle with Absalom, not because he deserved it, but because of David's great love for him. Go easy on him and do it for me. I know he's done these horrible things, but, for my sake. And out of their great love for David, they did. Well, the news of Absalom's death was overwhelming for King David. Upon hearing the news, David mourned for his loss and wept bitter tears. Now, bitter tears, those are hard to swallow, hard to handle, because there's a bitter sweetness going on, and those bitter tears over what could have been, what was lost. It didn't have to be that way. And that's when we have those bitter tears that we shed over our children, our family, our friends. Well, many years later, Jesus would also weep over the people whom he loved. Jesus, looking over the city of Jerusalem, repeated his longing for the people to turn to him. Remember when he said, "Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how I would have gathered you like a mother hen gathers her chicks to her," that I'm here. I would have helped you. And, sometimes people choose to disregard this care, and they run to their own destruction, where you plead and you beg with them, don't go down that path, don't do this, it doesn't have to be this way, but they still run to destruction. There come those bitter tears. The great Apostle Paul also modeled his heart of compassion for enemies of God. Writing to the church in Rome, Paul made a bold claim. He said that he wished that he were cut off from the mercy of God, if that meant that God's people would understand and respond to the grace offered through Christ. That he would be cut off. Wow, that's some serious love going on. God's people, moved by love for those who don't know Jesus, should long for them to be reconciled to God. This longing should produce a broken heart, passionate prayer, and bold witness. I know many times I have in prayer prayed very hard for some of my children to come back to me, that their lives don't have to be the way that they're going. They don't have to keep reaping those path of destruction in their lives. They're out there flailing. What they believed in and what they're doing has not brought them any peace in their lives. And what they need is Jesus, right? We all need Jesus. We all need Jesus because Jesus first loved us. God first loved us. And once we learned of God's love for us, we love him back very deeply. And we should be moved about people that don't know Jesus, and we should get the word out about the plan of salvation. And I want more than anything my family to be with me in heaven one day, for what a glorious thing that is going to be. And we're going to suffer some broken heartness along the way, but God is faithful, and God will comfort us and give us the courage to keep moving forward. And as we read in the next chapters, we're going to read that this was not a time for David to be mourning. He had to get out in the people and talk to them, because they had followed him and went to war and all this thing for David, and he needed to show the courage and the boldness of a king, of pushing forward and setting that great example. And wow, God bless you, David, for all you endured, for all you suffered, for all the scars that you had emotionally. We can understand that, because some of us are experiencing, maybe all of us are experiencing that same thing today. But through your story and your love for God, it gives us hope, and it gives us courage to press on. Thank you, King David. Thank you so much. All right, everyone, I hope you've enjoyed that devotional. Now, yesterday, you all really liked the faith faith, forwarding all issues to heaven. Well, I have another one for you today. It's push, P-U-S-H. Pray until something happens. Pray until something happens. Push. We all need to push every day. We need to push like King David did. We need to push like Moses did, like Abraham did. We need to pray without ceasing. And when we do that, what contentment we will have in our lives. All right, everyone, that's the devotion for today. I hope you've enjoyed that. Now, my pot holder. You know, sometimes it's not good to work on things when you're on drugs. That's my excuse. But I'm working on the second piece. It was exactly like the first piece, and I did something off because it was all ruffly. And I went, that's not supposed to be ruffly. So I got kind of frustrated, and I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to tackle it fresh tomorrow morning. And I hope you bear with me in my struggles in this. It's not the pattern. It's me. And I'm gonna do it because it is one of my favorite pot holders to make. And let me grab the one over here. This is what it looks like when it gets done. Of course, mine is in different colors. And right in here, see these post stitches, how they line up real nice? And you have so many stitches in between. Well, when I got to this part, it was like bigger, and it shouldn't be bigger. So it was something on my thing here. So, and I will give you a couple of tips when I get it done that I discovered again. But it really is a simple pattern. It's not the pattern, it's me, which I will conquer. I am sure of that. All right, I did straighten up some of my stuff today. I had an Afghan that I was working on from my brother who passed away a little over a year ago. And I just kind of lost heart in making it. He wanted me to make him an Afghan, and he died before it was finished, and I just haven't had the heart to pick it back up. Well, I got it, put it in a bag, and this fall I'm going to pick it back up, and I'm determined I'm going to get that finished because it is beautiful, and I think I'll be ready by then to pick that up and get that finished. So sometimes that happens in life. We have to regroup ourselves, and even if you have to set it aside, it's okay. And I'm okay with that. And I have another spiral Afghan that I want to pull out this fall and get that done. That's going to be a Christmas gift for someone. And I'm working on making an Afghan for each one of my grandkids. And I've made my daughter one, and I made my granddaughter, Michaela, I made her one when they got married. It was a granny square, and I connected all the squares together, and they loved it. So, yeah, I'm slowly working my way through the family. All right, everyone, this is Suzanne and God Crochet and Chatter. I cherish each and every one of you. I pray that you have a blessed evening. I know I'm going to. And you all go out and push, pray until something happens. Lord willing, I'll see you back on God Crochet and Chatter tomorrow. Bye, everyone.